Hi and hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. So we're going to be doing a different type of video, still based around music. This, that, and third. We're going to be doing Drake's catalog. So we're going to be doing them in this tier list over here. So yeah, let's not waste any time and let's get going. First, we have his first mixtape. Well, not his first mixtape. His 2009 mixtape, So Far Gone. Okay, I can't say much outside of this mixtape other than that the fact that there's isn't really whole lot of things happening on this thing over here. The one song I can really tell you off the top of my head, including like singing the chorus. Really, it's really the banger of a song. Best I ever had, of course. Other than that, I think the production could use some work. It could have used like it could have been a lot better in a lot of regards, especially considering the fact that how much better Drake's production would be on later projects. So yeah, we're just gonna put this in the C. Yeah, we're just gonna put that there. Next up is his debut album, Thank Me Later, which I personally enjoy. Again, I understand a lot of millennials don't really fuck with this, or hip hop traditionalists fuck with this, but I actually think this is nice of an album. I don't mind a lot of Drake singing on here, even though I do think it would improve a lot more. Of course, you have tracks like Over, which I do enjoy. The Resistance, I actually enjoy quite a bit too. And of course, the Nicki track, I like the Jay Z track too. It seems like Drake's singing as well. I do on like Find Your Love is surprisingly solid. I do like the I do like the closer, Thank Me Now. And at this point, even by this point in Drake's career, he seems to be, of course, being a bit braggadocious. Well, of course, expressing vulnerability, such as tracks like Karaoke. So yeah, I enjoyed this project. Put it in the B. And next record we have is Take Care, which is his sophomore album, which also has actually won a Grammy for Best Rap Album, which I think it's well deserved. And honestly, it's not Drake at his absolute best, though. I think this is another good project. I do like the title track with Rihanna. I do like that chorus, especially with Rihanna's vocals. And I personally think that this album definitely has Drake exploring a bit more, of course, like Quiet Storm of elements into his music. And of course R&B, even though I don't think this is like the best R&B, I think as far as like Drake, he kind of puts his own spin on it. And yeah, I think this album is good. It's genuinely good. So we're gonna put this in the B. We're gonna put this over Think Me Later. So yeah. Next up we have is Nothing Was the Same. Now I think this album is where Drake is out some of his most focused and creative works. Of course you have Hold On We're Going Home, Worst Behavior, even though I do think that's a bit odd to me. But then, of course, we also have "Start from the Bottom," which, goddamn, I mean, who doesn't remember that line from Drake? And of course, it was during this time. This would be kind of an odd time for Drake, considering the fact that later this would kind of snowball into like this thing about him beefing with other artists later on. At least to my knowledge. I could be wrong there, but yeah, overall, it's a great project. I actually do enjoy this. So yeah, we're gonna put this in the A. Yeah, we're gonna put that in the A here. And next up, we have his mixtape that had surprise dropped back in 2015. Now, this for me is his best work, and especially given in hindsight, during this time he was very hungry. He was definitely very hungry during this time. I mean, almost every track on here cannot be fucked with. Like Energy, Legend, Ten Band, Madonna, Six God, like it's amazing. Like it's amazing, and it's great. It's very great. It's definitely better than Nothing Was the Same. So if I can put this above you, yeah, let's go. All right. Next track, What a Time to Be Alive, record with Future. Which honestly, I don't have much to say outside of this. Is that it's a fine mixtape. It's not really anything too grand in some capacity. but I actually do enjoy it. However, it's not really a record I come back to or a mixtape I come back to. So yeah, I think uh, Drake in Future has some good chemistry on here. And of course, with Jumpman, that's like the only one I'll quote off here. So yeah, we'll put this in the C. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, next we have Views. I mean, what can I say other than the fact that this shit was goddamn disappointing? I mean, the level of disappointment I felt when I did first listen to this, and even looking back on it, still feel the same way. It's definitely a disappointing album after a goddamn mixtape such as If You're Reading This or What Time to Be Alive. It's kind of where Drake, for me personally, kind of just dips in quality and just focuses on the numbers, which is not a bad thing. It's not really entirely a bad thing, for at least not for me personally. Which honestly, I don't know. And the only great song off of here is really Hotline Bling, and that was like a single merely a year before the album actually dropped itself. So yeah, we're gonna put this in the D. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. More Life. Yeah, I need to stop hearing about this just being a playlist as an excuse to just throw a bunch of shit together. Like honestly, there's not a ton going on. There's not like going on creatively. However, there are a few highlights here and there, of course, such as Free Smoke, but that's about it. Like that's not a lot of highlights. Not a lot whole thing. Not a lot standing out. Still kind of whitewashing dancehall, and he kind of just talks about things on here as well. Yeah, he kind of tries to do this like accent, like UK accent, and yeah, it's a bit of a turn off for me. Yeah, we'll put this easily enough. We should put this enough. Yeah, we should put that there. Next up, Scorpion. Scorpion. This was a record I was also kind of excited to hear because I remember at the time, of course, people were talking about it. I remember the Kiki, do you love me? Like I of course remember that shit. Like people were bumping that shit in the whip. Yeah, however, it's a pretty bloated album, as I don't think that this album should have happened. Of course, this was also during, of course, like the whole Pusha T beef he had with with Drake. Of course, with the story of Iodon, which at this time it kind of seems like Drake was kind of cornered here. But on the things on this album here, it's like, of course, two discs. I can't really tell you which one's better. They both kind of sound the same. And it's 90 minutes. It should not have been 90 minutes. And honestly, it's fine. It's definitely better than More Life. I would say that. So yeah, we'll put this in the C. Is it better than? Yeah, not yet. No. Okay, next up we have Care Package, released 2019, I believe. So yeah, boring as fuck. Let's move on. Dark Lane demo tapes. I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. I actually enjoyed this. I actually didn't think it was all that bad. I actually thought this was a tad step up from Scorpion. However, it's still kind of bland, kind of uncreative. The only song I actually like, which is a song I was surprised I actually enjoyed when there's not much going on in the production, Tootsie Slide. I fucking remember the fact that, of course, the right foot up, left foot slide, left foot up, right foot slide. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of boring. Again, not too much going on. Is this better than Scorpion? I would say so. I would say so. There's something to be desired for on there. Next up, COB. What the fuck was this album? Now, this album is kind of odd to me, at least by this point in Drake's career. This was, of course, during the time of his beef with Kanye West, and the material on this album not creative. Nothing really going on creatively. I mean, of course, you have Way Too Sexy, which I personally I don't mind, but I'm not afraid to say that's kind of mid. So yeah, we'll just put this in. Oh, and of course, there's Girls Want Girls. Yeah, the line of him being the lesbian bar. I get it. He's joking. However, it's nowhere near relevant since like 2001. So yeah, we'll put this in indie. Austin Nevermind. What the fuck was this? I mean, yeah, he's trying his attempt at dance music, which I actually do appreciate, as as I literally kind of had to skip over to Austin Nevermind because by the time I got to More Life, the sounds of his music was getting very fucking repetitive. And of course, this being a dance record, I was actually anticipating for this to be a bop for Drake, but it's still kind of the same reasons why I think his music has not hit since its early days. And honestly, do I think this shit is anywhere near good? Fuck no. I really don't know what the fuck he was even doing on here. I mean, yeah, it's dance music. I mean, it was some of it was bearable, but others are really others are truly terrible. You have Sticky, which I actually do think it's good, if not great, and Jimmy Cooks, which I actually do enjoy too. But that's about it. That's really about it. Of course, I like elements of Overdrive and Massive or a Keeper, but yeah, that's about it as far as compliments go. Yeah, this shit was like the lowest level of effort he could put into any project he's put out so far. So yeah, we'll put this in the goddamn F. Sorry. Next up, Her Loss. I actually enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed this a lot more. And of course, he has very good chemistry with 21 Savage. I, of course, like Circle Loco on here, even though I do think the Daft Punk interpolation is kind of weak. But with this album, there was like each song was nice. Each song was actually grabbing my attention to some degree. And even if I did have it on in the background, and while I do think this is fun, it's just a fun listen for it to me. I do think he could have done easily could have done better. But I actually do enjoy this. Is this better than Thank Me Now? Is this better than Thank Me Later? Oh fuck, I don't know. Is it better? I don't know. I could put it on the same wavelength. Next, For All the Dogs. I haven't listened to this. I haven't listened to that record. However, I have listened to a bit of first person shooter. Of course, that being like the whole, no, we the big three type of thing. But yeah, but yeah, we'll move on. Next up, some sexy songs for you with Party Next Door. Very much an album that was very anticipated by a lot of his fans to do with Party Next Door. Okay, I've already listened to it, and honestly, I've talked about it a bit on my channel. So, what I'll say about this is still fucking boring. It's still goddamn him. It's just him kind of taking himself a bit too seriously, kind of what he was doing when he was infatuated with the whole Kanye shit on CLB. And yeah, there's not a lot going on creatively. It's not really real R&B. While while that being said, though, I do like Nokia and Die Trying. I do like those two tracks, especially Nokia. It seems like on Nokia he seems to be taking himself a lot very unseriously, which I was like, where is this Drake? This Drake has not been seen like in the past decade. Like he hasn't been seen in goddamn years. Like do you know where he is? Do you have his goddamn phone number? Can I email him so he can come back? Please, cause I really need to hear this side of Drake. But yeah, overall, pretty boring. It's not really that much interesting. It has highlights, but yeah, we'll put it in C. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's gonna be today's video. Hope you all enjoyed, though I'm pretty sure a lot of you didn't, considering the amount of Drake fans are going to come after me and send me a lot of shit my way, which is going to happen. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. What do you think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Please let me know in the comments. Yeah, we'll be doing more videos like this. I think it's fun to be talking albums like this. So yeah, I'm going to catch y'all later.